If the board don't fix up right now, today, as custodians of our club, we're going to go down. What's happening in Hammer's chat subscribers? I realise I'm not Gonzo, and I'm sorry if I disappoint. Gonzo, as some of you may know, is away having a well-earned break at Pinfest, enjoying himself, having a few beers, and he's gone away for the weekend. So I'm Michael. I've stepped in once again to try to give Gonzo some relief. Well, I tell you what, if he is having a beer tonight, I hope he's having a whiskey chaser with it and a shot. Absolutely ridiculous. As you may tell, I've been working this evening, and I managed to watch the beginning of the game, and it was on in the venue that I was singing at. So I've come home. It's 2 o'clock in the morning as I record this, still in my work attire. I had a decision to make. Maybe I should calm down and do this in the morning. But if you'll give me a minute to just listen to what I've got to say, I'm a fan, just as you are. And I have feelings and emotions about our beloved West Ham, just the way you do. And I've decided I'm going to just shoot straight from the hip. Now, if you're one of those people, and we love you all, if you're one of those people that are allergic to negativity and allergic to realism and hearing exactly what the situation is, then this is not for you, right? But if you are a fan like me and you don't mind somebody calling it straight, neither a pessimist nor an optimist, but a realist, then this is the video for you to listen to, because I don't claim to speak for the people. You've all been very nice to me, and I appreciate each and every one of you, and I always try to reply in the comments. I always try to be polite to people back. When I'm discussing football, I try to speak to you, and I try to speak on camera as I would if we were sat across the table and not on the internet. So please take me as you find me. I had a decision to make tonight, not only whether I was going to record this after calming down and sleeping on it, but also, as I've worked tonight, I managed to catch most of the first half before I stepped on stage. And like I said, the game was on in a venue I was in. And though I was singing, it was early, I sort of managed to keep half an eye on it. I was going to come home now at 2 o'clock in the morning because I'd agreed to this video to give Gonzo a little break. And I was going to sit down now and watch the replay for the next 90 minutes. I'm sorry, I'm not watching that shit back. Right, and I wanted to give you a tactical breakdown and analysis about the shape and the pressing and the defence and how we created chances and how we were defensively and so on. I mean, listen, I like to be as professional as I can in everything I do. There is no way on earth I'm going to sit and watch that shit. I'm not going to sit and watch that back. So let's start from the beginning, and all I can do is tell you how I felt about that. And I'd appreciate if you speak to me in the comments, and we'll be respectful to each other as we always are. And we'll talk about whether you agree or disagree, and we'll have a little chat about that. First of all, the starting lineup. What can you say? All right, okay. He took Guido Rodriguez out of the lineup, who was arguably our best midfielder. But I wasn't sad to see him go. And I was almost happy to see Souček in there as the only goal threat we've really got. He's the only one other than Bowen that has any chance of scoring 10 goals this season. And with every game that passes, my optimism is dropping and dropping. The fact is, in that lineup with this 5 at the back, and don't anyone tell me it's free. It's not free at the back because the man is so negative. It's a 5 with 3 holding midfielders in front of it. Potter's scared stiff, mate. And Potter, whether you think we should give him time, whatever you think is your opinion, and I respect it, right? He's not up to the job. And that's my opinion. He's not up to the job. You were never going to get a better lineup with that because you're never going to see a different shape. The man is married to this defensive 5-3-2. It doesn't fit the players we have to hand. And he's not going to change it. So you're never going to get a fantastic lineup that we can all be excited about. You're never going to see that. We've got no midfield options. We had no other attacking midfielders on the bench. Let's try and be positive. So I try and give you positives because I try not to be negative because, like I said, some people are allergic to it. We had a good shape for 6 minutes. 6 minutes. That's how long we had a good shape for. And we pressed quite well for the opening goal. Now, I sat there. I see the defenders, the Chelsea defenders, backing off and backing off and backing off. And lo and behold, Paqueta had a pop. He had a dig, and he ended up in the top corner. Brilliant. I was out of my chair. I was jumping around, dancing around, caught my son. to come and see. And then, you know, not very long at all, a corner. So we must be Roman. So at least Hermanson must be a Roman because he doesn't fucking like corners, does he? First of all, the marking. Why does nobody know their role? Why does nobody know their job? Do we even have a set piece coach? I'm not sure. Neither attacking or defending. So you would have seen that Paqueta was on Cucurella, who got absolutely outdone at the front post, flicked it on. And then I've been banging on about this for a couple of weeks. Our big in German, right, is as weak as a kitten now he's lost his weight. He's actually been out-muscled and out-jumped by 11 stone João Pedro, who has absolutely jumped up and dominated him in the air for the first goal on the edge of the 6-yard box. So it was 1-1. We fought for a minute. The full Krug had got us 2-1 up, went to VAR. As soon as you saw the replay, it was obvious Todibo was offside, albeit by half a foot. But that's the rules, and he was clearly offside, so we weren't 2-1 up. And then again, very open first 20, 25 minutes. We found ourselves 2-1 down with Neto at the back post. Well, look, listen, what you saw there was the good, the bad, and the ugly with Lucas Paqueta, right? 1 minute, he's got the ball on the edge of the box. He feels like he's in the mood, and he's popping it in the top bins. The next minute, whether you think it's a foul or not, it's all too common that he's rolling around holding his fucking face. And that's what he's done again. Now, maybe you think it's a... First of all, I didn't think it was a foul. I've just watched Gio's review, driving home from work, listening to the review on the Bluetooth. He says he felt like it was an outright foul and that it should have been pulled up. Whether it was or not is immaterial to me, right? When you're part of a team and you're playing for the club and you're playing for the badge, you fucking get up and you get on with it, right? He's too busy laying on the floor, holding his face, telling us he's hurt his eye while the ball's in the back of the net, right? And this is the problem with Paqueta. 1 minute he's brilliant, although even though he scored tonight, he's not had an assist in 44 games now. That's our creative midfielder. It's not good enough. Listen, let me tell you quickly, because I've got a lot to say about a few things and I don't want to carry on and on and on. Max Kilman's a bust, right? We've been robbed for 40 million. I'm sorry, we've been robbed. I've seen him live and I've seen him on TV. He's got no pace. He's not comfortable. He can't win it. We've got 3 centre-backs and not one of them can win a fucking thing in the air, right? So we've been done again from corners with 3 centre-backs. We let 2 goals in, 2 headed goals against Sunderland with a back 3. A back 3. How are you getting dominated in the air? Kilman's a bust, right? And if we could take half the money for him now, I'd sell him tomorrow, right? Let me tell you something. Old 70-minute boy Todibo is a fucking bust. Running out of the back line tonight several times and completely missing the ball. Stepping into the midfield is one thing, right? If we're talking tactically. Stepping in, and you'll forgive me for being frustrated like you as a fan, and emotions are running high, right? So I'm trying to give you content to cover for Gonzo. So I'll try to be more positive when Gonzo and I do a video together on reflection. I'll try to give you more tactical analysis, which I like to do. 70-minute boy Todibo, right? Can't finish a game, doesn't understand about positioning. And like I'm saying, to step into the midfield, right, and be an extra man, I can understand. But to step into the midfield to mark a midfielder, right, then I've got to look at Potter, right? If you want an extra man in midfield to cover the Chelsea midfield, don't play this 5 at the back. Have a midfielder in there, right? That's the first thing. So for me, Todibo, who can't finish a game and always looks unfit, he's a bust, right? The man himself, Potter's a bust, right? I'm sorry, it's not 2 games, right? We've had half a season with him, which I'll refer back to, with a win rate of less than a point a game. You can go and look it up. And if it is over a point a game, it's only fractionally, which means if we go 1-0 down, we're fucked, right? When you look across his career, and I don't know if people hit the stats or not, 1.11 average as a manager. People talk about his purple spell and his good spell at Brighton. That was a 16th place finish, a 15th place finish, and a 9th. When the players and recruitment was done for him. He had players like Cucurella. He had players like McAllister, Caicedo. You know, look at the players he's had to work with. Right, next thing. I don't think he's up to it. Next thing. Our big in German, right? And I don't want to swear too much and get the lads demonetised because I'm trying to step in. He's as weak as a kitten since he's lost his weight, right? He looks trim. He's no fucking, sorry, swear. He's no faster, right? He's no faster, but he gets brushed off the ball constantly. The fact that he was hooked at half time should tell you that Potter doesn't fancy him. The fact that his replacement was 97-year-old Callum Wilson, who can't head the ball, has lost all his pace and can't shoot anymore. He's a busted flush, right? And he's hooked full crew for that. Now, listen, we all love a passionate player, right? We all grew up, a lot of the people in my vintage, loving Julian Dix and people of that ilk, right? He can say all he wants in the interviews. He doesn't deliver on the pitch. He doesn't deliver on the pitch. And he's not going to score 10 goals. I'll have that bet with Gio. If he wants it again this year, right, that full crew's going to score 10 plus goals this season. He's probably not even going to be fit for the rest of the season. So that's frustrating me. And then at half time, not only does he put on Callum Wilson, his saviour, his get out of jail free guard, Potter, right, is to bring young Freddie Potts on. Now, we all love an academy player. We all love Potts, right? He's done fantastic at Wickham and then at Portsmouth, right? A lot of us were plumping for him starting. I'd rather him started than James Ward-Prowse, right? But if you're not going to do that and you're going to play him in the pre-season friendlies all the way up and then open the Premier League fixtures, right, against Sunderland and omit Potts from the squad, right? Why are you dragging him in at Potts at half time to be your saviour? That's what you're doing, right? So he's clueless. He's absolutely clueless. And the only thing stopping me saying that he needs to go tonight is the fact that with these clowns that own our club, right? What are you going to get next? Dyche, Rafa Benitez, right? There's a massive problem at our club, and for me, it's not binary. It's not either Potter or the board, right? Absolutely. I've got no horse in the race. I've got no dog in the fight. I'm not a paid mouthpiece for anyone. No one is on Abba's chat, but Gonzo has been accused of this before, right? No one pays my wages. I'm a fan, like everyone watching this. Let me tell you something, right? This board are totally inept. They've got a manager who's never been a manager before. He's been a head coach. He's now tasked with making decisions and vetoing players. I happen to know, and it's confidential, we're offered a good midfielder this week, right? And Potter said, I won't take him because I'm happy with Guido Rodriguez, right? Let that sink in for a minute. And I don't want to get anyone in trouble and I won't speak out of school, right? We've got Kyle Corley, who I'm sure is a lovely man and I'm sure is a fantastic data analyst, looking at the stats and doing his research and being a bookworm. He's out trying to negotiate deals. He's never done that in his life, right? I'm no Sullivan mouthpiece. I'm no Sullivan fan. I'd like him gone tonight if I could, right? But Sullivan is making funds available. Maybe not as much as we want. But we can't get a deal over the line because it's the same old West Ham. I said this on the first video I did covering for Gonzo, right? If we have Andy Carroll up front, we stop crossing the ball, right? If we bring Chicharito on, we start smashing it up 6 foot in there when there's a fox in the box. We never quite get it right. We got rid of Moyes, no matter what you think of that or not. We won't go into that. He had to go at the end, in my opinion, and we can talk about that in the comments, right? We got rid of Moyes because we didn't want to offer him a contract as the all-seeing, overseeing manager. We wanted him to be a head coach. We've brought in a career head coach that's had players bought for him at Ostersund, at Swansea, at Brighton, and now he's vetoing the signings. And you've got his mate, Jobs for the Boys, for £1 million coming over from Brighton. He's now our director of football, effectively, right? And we're not signing anyone we need, right? There's things off the record I'm not going to say. So let me just take a little bit of break, a little bit of light relief. It seems inappropriate, but I'm going to do it, right? If you want more in-depth analysis and you enjoy what we do or what the boys do here on Abba's chat, please consider joining up to Patreon. That's what I do, and that's why I'm sat here now. You may have an opportunity to sit in this chair and give your opinions. You certainly would on Patreon because we have a Patreon podcast called Overland and C Word, which I'm on, as well as our friend Sat and our friend Gatesy. And we often get patrons on there to give their points of view. As well as that, for the price of a cup of coffee a month, you can also have opposition predictions with Gio, who breaks things down tactically. Babbling Irons, those fellas are statos on legs. They're absolutely brilliant. Player rating show, which is going to be really entertaining on Monday, I'll tell you that. The breakfast show, mug of tea, the naked podcast with Gio and Gonzo, which is nothing to do with taking your clothes off and derobing, but just talking about things other than football, which I think we all could do with at the moment. Right. So if you fancy that, there'll be a link in the description below to go and consider Patreon. At a minute, though, it feels a bit disingenuous saying it, because as much as I recommend it as a fan, and a subscriber, and like I said, I've got no horse in the race, I'm just shooting it straight to you. I'm sick of West Ham, right? So we've just gone out and signed a keeper. Remember the whole thing with John Victor or Victor John, whatever his name is, right? This is Potter's #1 goalkeeping target, as well as what's his name, Angers? I forget the fella's name because I'm frustrated and it's late. It's gone 2 a.m. here when I'm recording this. This is our goalkeeping coach wanted Hermansen, right? Again, he must be Roman because he hates fucking corners, right? He's flapping about a Weetabix arms. I managed to see tonight that he shanked it out twice again and went long 3 times. This is meant to be the player that's good with his feet, right? Now, a lot of us don't think that Areola suits his style of play, right? Never mind his confidence, Manson, right? I'd have Areola back in for the next game. Better still, right? Here's what they need to do. They need to sell Areola, get his wages off the books, and they better go out and buy a #1. Because let me tell you, a Mads Manson is not a #1, mate. Right? There's a reason he was relegated with Leicester and let in a record amount of goals, and we've just seen it again. At least 3 of those goals were Madson's fault. The defence, I think, is fucked. We desperately need an old school, rugged, no-nonsense defender. I think we still miss Craig Dawson. Someone who will throw their body on the line, throw their head in where it hurts. None of this trying to play out from the back. Someone who will actually put it in a touch or clear it up the pitch, not your goalkeeper, a no-nonsense defender. We need a leader now. I love Bowen, but there's no leadership. Right, and there's clearly no leadership in the dressing room either with Potter, who will stand and give you his book of cliches, right? And we'll zoom out and we'll see what that looks like, and we'll look under the bonnet, right? He's not strong enough character, in my opinion, to deal with these people in the dressing room, and he's not going to motivate anybody. We need a no-nonsense defender right now, right? We need 2 midfielders, a 6 and a 10 right now, right? Paqueta, I'm not bothered if he stays or not. We stood by him. If he's going to roll around holding his face, he can go. The next thing, I don't understand. I've said it before. These players and this squad is crying out for a 4-3-3, right? We've got 3 defenders at the back. None of them can head the fucking ball, right? Bowen, arguably one of the top 3, maybe top 5 right-sided, inside forwards, whatever you call it, depends what generation you come from. And he's up front, scrapping around, doing flick-ons for Fulkrug, who's meant to be a beast in the air that can't shrug someone off. He's getting shrugged off like Somerville does, who's about 2 foot. Potter is trying to eat a bowl of soup with a fork, right? He's not looking at the assets in front of him. I don't have any faith that he's going to change. He is married to this style of play. He is married to knocking it about in our own third. He is married to this formation, right? And I don't see it changing. I'm sorry this is negative. I apologise again. I would love to come on. If next week we win 5-0, right, or we win 2-0, and there's style of play there, and we've got more cutting edge, right, and we've got some sort of ethos that's exciting to us, or we're doing a professional job and we get it over the line, I will be on here waxing lyrical. So please don't see me as negative. I can only comment and reflect and react on the shit show that we've seen tonight, right? Where do we go from here? This board, right? This board better go up and they better start spending the money, right? If Carl McCauley can't get deals done, somebody else better go and get deals done. And we need a no-nonsense centre-back, a no-nonsense 6 with legs, an athlete who can win the ball and get up and down the pitch, someone who can actually create chances, because we create nothing. We've got no cutting edge and we're toothless, right, to lay off it. And we better get a centre forward that doesn't get brushed off the ball like a rag doll, right, that can only score when it's at his feet, right? I saw a stat tonight on Sky Sports, right? In the 8 or 9 games that Fulkrug has played, right, in 2025, yeah, he scored 1 goal, and that was in a 2-2 draw. He's not doing it, right? We need a pacey centre forward to stretch defenders, to play on the shoulder, right? Then you can have the likes of Aguerd knocking it over the top, but we won't go into all the tactics now. The bottom line is, West Ham fans, is this board needs to go. And we can't sack the board, right? We can't sack the board. But you do need to make your voices heard if you feel like me. Now, I know Gonzo's passionate about everyone's got free choice. There's no expectation on anyone to do it. Some people, we spoke the other day off camera, there are some people that just are content to go and watch the game and leave and not get involved in the politics. And I totally respect each and every one of you watching. For me, if you get rid of the manager, I said it the other day, it's like trying to change the wheels on a car with a broken engine. What's next, Dyche? Rafa Benitez? What's next? Nothing's going to change. It's not binary. It's not either the manager's wrong or the board are wrong. Absolutely everybody in any position of responsibility at West Ham are fucked. It's broken from top to bottom. I despair. But I'll tell you one thing. This board, if they don't go out right now with, 10 days left of the transfer window, spend money and absolutely speculate to accumulate because they're worried about spending money. If they don't go out and do it and get players now to keep us up, they'll be losing a lot more money by being relegated than they could possibly spend. I'm done.